Hi, Sathes. Thank you for allowing me to interview you for my English communication project. So this interview session will be mainly based on our Malaysia's education system. Okay, so let's start with the first question. So can you tell me what are your opinions on a student's examination result? Do you think that a student's examination result will define who a student is, who they are?
Hi Bunken. In my opinion, I think student examination result is just part of our assessment. It's not mainly define what the person are. More than examination, there's extracurricular activities, which I think it's somehow nowadays it's more important for a student rather than just getting a good excellent result. Whereas we can see the number of top students getting excellent result keep increasing every year. So I think what makes a student a good student is his participation in various kind of activities, not just performing in examination.
Okay, so can you tell me what do you know about our the control school and streaming system that are currently happening in all those education premises?
Well, regarding a control school where particular students will only get into a school when they achieve a certain amount of result. For example, I studied in a secondary school where the school only allows students that got 3A and above in their UPSL result.
3As.
3As. That was Sekolah Rancangan Khas. Yeah.
Okay.
So I believe these kind of schools, it's not really appropriate for nowadays, since everyone should be given an equal opportunities. And about streaming classes where only those who get higher marks are in one class, is somehow it's not rational, I guess, since it won't help students to mingle around other students. It's somehow only top students will only mingle around themselves, while those students who are kind of backwards will only mingle with their group.
Okay, so before we continue, can I know more about your education background? As in which secondary school did you graduate from? Is it the type? Is it like SMK, SMJK, or
Oh, well, I studied in SMK school.
SMK? Okay, so so your school is the kind that implements the streaming system and is a control school, right?
It's a control school, but it's not really a streaming. Yeah, it is a streaming.
So they have like first class, second class, third
Yeah.
class. Okay. In the future, as a parent, will you send your kids to this kind of school?
Well, I believe no, since it's like we kind of separating our children based on their result. I think what makes a student a good or better student is how they mingle around with people, and the most important thing is how they participate in all various kind of activity, which make them all-round students. And also the most important thing is their character.
Okay. So regarding our like this kind of systems, right? Do you think that they should be abolished? And can you suggest some alternatives to replace these kind of systems?
Well, in my opinion, yes, this kind of system should be abolished, since it doesn't really benefit all the students, and it somehow segregates students based on their examination result. Whereas some students, they can excel well in their sports, but they may not perform well in their studies. As for alternative, I think maybe they should just shouldn't segregate students based on their examination result, but it should be more on focusing on how the students should perform in various fields, not only in examination. I mean, the main thing is the student should not be accessed only on examination results.
Okay, so before we end our interview session, there's one final question. Just like you mentioned, I think you mentioned about that, but just for confirmation. So, in your opinion, do you think that students should be filtered based on their examination results?
No, I think no.
Okay, so that will be all for our interview session. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.